Hello students, and here we are with the class on number system. आर्यभट्टा एग्जाम में नंबर सिस्टम के क्वेश्चंस काफ़ी ज़्यादा आते हैं और इसमें बहुत सारे प्रकार के क्वेश्चन होते हैं, बहुत सारे तरह के क्वेश्चंस होते हैं. One of the types which is frequently discussed or frequently asked is the concept of remainders. Okay, so today we are going to focus on the concept of remainders in the Aryabhatta class. So keep watching this session. It will be informative by the time we end this session. Okay, so first look at the concept part. How do you calculate the remainders? अब ऐसे इतने simple question तो आएंगे नहीं कि यार 4 को 11 में divide दो कितना रिमाइंडर आएगा, ऐसे क्वेश्चन आएंगे नहीं. लेकिन क्वेश्चन का फाउंडेशन स्टोन उसी कॉन्सेप्ट से शुरू होगा. तो आई विल स्टार्ट फ्रॉम दैट पॉइंट ओनली. ओके, सो आई विल से यार 11 को 4 से डिवाइड करते हैं तो व्हाट इज द रिमाइंडर? रिमाइंडर इज सर 3 रिमाइंडर आता है. वेरी इजी. ओके, अब इसी से नेक्स्ट कॉन्सेप्ट बिल्ड करते हैं. इफ आई से 22 को 8 से डिवाइड देंगे, व्हाट विल बी द रिमाइंडर? हाउ विल यू कैलकुलेट दिस? वेरी सिंपल. शुड यू डू लाइक दिस कि यार इसको 4 से 2 से कैंसिल करके 11/4 करते हैं और कहते हैं कि रिमाइंडर 3 आएगा? नो, बिकॉज एक्चुअली द रिमाइंडर इज 6 नॉट 3. ओके, तो विच मीन्स इवन इफ यू वांट टू कैंसिल इट, मेक श्योर कि आपने जिससे कैंसिल किया है शायद आपने 2 से कैंसिल किया है, तो ऑब्वियस ही बात है यहाँ पे आपको अंत में 2 से मल्टीप्लाई करना पड़ेगा टू गेट द ओरिजिनल रिमाइंडर. सो द फर्स्ट रूल ऑफ रिमाइंडर इज if you are cancelling a number, make sure you multiply that cancelling factor at the end. Obviously बात है आप cancel तो करना ही चाहोगे to make your life easy, but make sure you multiply the cancelling factor at the end to get the original remainder. Okay, so now next concept after this. If I say that say 11 को 4 से डिवाइड दूँ, रिमाइंडर आए 3. ओके, एंड से 22 को 4 से डिवाइड दूं तो रिमाइंडर आए 2. क्लियर? सो इफ आई टेल यू, इफ आई आस्क यू दैट 11 प्लस 22 को अगर 4 से डिवाइड दो तो रिमाइंडर क्या आएगा? तो आपको पता है 11 को 4 से डिवाइड तो रिमाइंडर आता है 3, 22 को 4 से डिवाइड दो तो रिमाइंडर आता है 2. क्लियर? राइट, बट द नेट रिमाइंडर विल बी 5. Can the remainder be 5? No, the remainder cannot be more than the divisor. So if you get the remainder 5, you again have to divide by 4. So either you divide it by 4, which is the remainder is in this case 4 को 5 में divide दो, the remainder is 1. The second rule of remainder, when you add a number and then find the net remainder, make sure you add the remainders to get the net remainder. If the remainder is more than the divisor, make sure you divide that remainder by the divisor once again. So if the numbers are added, the remainders are also added. If the numbers are, if you cancel a number, then the cancelling factor must be multiplied. अच्छा, फर्ज करो मैं नेक्स्ट पूछता हूँ, 22 माइनस 11 को अगर 4 से डिवाइड देंगे तो रिमाइंडर क्या आएगा? तो 22 का रिमाइंडर 4 से डिवाइड देने पे क्या आता है? 2 आता है. 11 को 4 से डिवाइड देने रिमाइंडर क्या आता है? -3 आता है. तो अगर मैं 4 से डिवाइड दूंगा तो रिमाइंडर क्या आएगा? -1. बट कैन द रिमाइंडर बी नेगेटिव? कैन द रिमाइंडर बी नेगेटिव? अब देखो 22 माइनस 11 इज 11. 11 डिवाइडेड बाय 4 इज रिमाइंडर इज 3. बट you are getting the remainder to be -1, which means when you are getting the remainder to be negative, you have to add the divisor. What is the divisor here? 4. So the 4 is the remainder, which means 4 minus 1, the remainder is 3. When you get a negative remainder, you have to add the divisor to get the net remainder. Okay, these are some small things. Now next concept. Okay, now if I ask you another question. Say if I ask you that 11 divided by 4, the remainder is 3. What is the remainder when 11 square is divided by 4? What is the remainder when 11 square is divided by 4? How do you calculate it? So I'll calculate it separately here. Okay, So when I say 11 स्क्वायर को और 4 से डिवाइड देते हैं, हाउ डू कैलकुलेट द रिमाइंडर? यू विल से सर 11 इंटू 11 को 4 से डिवाइड दो, तो रिमाइंडर क्या आता है? 3 इंटू 3 को 4 से डिवाइड दो, 9 डिवाइडेड बाई 4, रिमाइंडर इज 1. इट्स अ लॉन्ग प्रोसेस. नाउ इफ आई आस्क यू अ क्वेश्चन, 11 की पावर से 96 को 4 से डिवाइड दो, तो विल यू डू लाइक दिस? No. Then what you have to do in this case, when the divisor's power has to be divided by when the dividend's power has to be divided by a divisor, तो हम क्या करेंगे उस केस में? क्या करते हैं? What you should do in that case, think of a number near 11, either it is plus or minus 1 to 11, which is divisible by 4. So which is the nearest number to 11 which is divisible by 4? You will say the number is 12. So how can you write this? You write this as 12 minus 1 to the power of 96 divided by 4. Okay, so I'm telling you the shortcut technique of finding the remainder when the dividend is very, very large. Okay, so having done this, 90% of your job is done. What you can do in this case is, now you have got the question is minus 1 to the power of 96. Now what you have to write is, just you have to write minus 1 की power 96 divided by 4. Now minus 1 की power 96 क्या होता है? It is 1, because minus 1's even power is 1, and 1 divided by 4, what is the remainder? यहाँ पे बच्चे गलती कर देते और कहते हैं remainder is 0.25. No, the value is 0.25, but the remainder is always 1. So the remainder, when this number is divided by 4, the remainder is 1. Okay, so this is the technique of finding the remainders when the number is very, very large. Okay, and आपको सिर्फ इतना करना है, इस नंबर के नज़दीक एक नंबर कोई ढूंढना है जो इसका मल्टीपल हो और इसके आगे या पीछे 1 हो. Okay, having done that, you forget this, you just forget about, you concentrate on this number. Minus 1 की power 96, when divided by 4, 1 divided by 4, remainder is 1. Most often than not, you will find questions which are either at a separation of 1 or minus 1, or at most 2 or minus 2. So the technique remains same, you will learn through the questions. Okay, so this is how you calculate the remainders of power numbers. So remember the concept, when the numbers are added, the remainders are added. When the numbers are subtracted, the remainders are subtracted. When the numbers are multiplied, the remainders when numbers are multiplied, the remainders are multiplied. And when there is a power number, think of a number at the top which is a multiple of the divisor, and then proceed accordingly as I taught you. Okay, so this is how you calculate the remainders of numbers which are very large. And this is a very elegant technique of finding the remainders. Okay, so now we'll do some questions on remainders. Let's see. Sometimes the questions are weird, but they follow the basic concept. Okay, the basic concept अगर रहता है clear, then it will not stop you from scoring very good marks in the Aryabhatta exam. Okay, now focus on this question. Two numbers 9, 7 star and star 0 have a missing digit. The difference of the missing digit is 7. The greatest possible number when the bigger number is divided by a smaller number is how much? Now obvious सी बात है, यहाँ पे 9, 7 star को 9 star 0 से डिवाइड करना है so that रिमाइंडर बहुत ज़्यादा हो, और इन दोनों में डिफरेंस जो है वो 9 है. ये नहीं कह रहा है कि ये इससे बड़ा है ये इससे छोटा है, जस्ट इतना कह रहा है कि इन दोनों में डिफरेंस जो है वो 9 है. और वो हाउ मच इज द डिफरेंस? 7 है. ओके, सो व्हाट इज द ग्रेटेस्ट पॉसिबल रिमाइंडर? नाउ द कंसेप्ट सेज दैट द ग्रेटेस्ट पॉसिबल रिमाइंडर विल हैपन जब डिवाइजर बहुत ज़्यादा हो, बहुत बड़ा हो, और जितना बड़ा डिवाइजर होगा रिमाइंडर उतना बड़ा होगा. ओके, विच मीन्स ये तय है कि ये जो है वो इससे बड़ा होगा. ये जो फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स वाला नंबर है क्रॉस इज मोर देन द स्टार, सो वी कैन से क्रॉस माइनस स्टार इज इक्वल टू 7. So what is now all these are single digit numbers. Okay, so what can be the value of cross here? So 8 and minus 1 is 7. 9 minus 2 is 7. So if you put 8 here, 80 डिवाइड, और यहाँ पे 971 रखते हैं, 971 को 80 से डिवाइड देते हैं, रिमाइंडर कितना होता है? रिमाइंडर इज 11. बट अगर मैं देखूँ 972 को अगर मैं 90 से डिवाइड देता हूँ तो व्हाट इज द रिमाइंडर? व्हाट इज द रिमाइंडर? द रिमाइंडर इज 72. And that is the greatest possible remainder, which means the greatest possible remainder for is 72. तो ध्यान रहे, when you have to find the remainder, very large remainder, the divisor has to be very large and the top number has to be very small. जितना बड़ा divisor रहेगा, remainder उतनी बड़ी होगी. Simple concept है. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Pause this video for a second before you attempt the next question. The remainder when 7 raised to power 21 is divided by 5 is how much? All these questions are taken from the actual Aryabhatta exam. Okay, so this is a live practice for you. Okay, so 7 raised to power 21 is divided by 5. What is the remainder? Okay, वही technique अपनाते हैं. 7 raised to power 21 divided by 5. What is the remainder? Very simple. 7 के नज़दीक ऐसा कौन सा नंबर है बहुत पास जो 5 से डिविजिबल है? ओके, तो यू विल से सर 5 है, तो यू विल राइट इट एज 5 प्लस 2 रेज टू द पावर ऑफ 21 डिवाइडेड बाय 5. ओके, तो अब मैंने आपसे कहा था थोड़ी देर पहले कि यार 1 या -1 क्या होना चाहिए आसपास. ये तो 2 या 2 आ गया है. अब घबराना नहीं है यहाँ पे. तो अब आपको जो कंसेप्ट है इतना ही करना है कि 2 रेज टू द पावर 21 को 5 से डिवाइड दो तो क्या रिमाइंडर होगा. दैट्स व्हाट यू हैव टू फोकस ऑन, राइट. फॉरगेट दिस 5 बिकॉज it's a higher concept of binomial theorem. You don't have to focus on that. Just focus on the shortcut thing, is that what is the remainder when 2 raised to power 21 is divided by 5. Now think 2 की ऐसी कौन सी पावर है जो 5 के बहुत नजदीक है? 2 square is 4, which is very close to 5. So you will say, sir, 2 square raised to the power of how much? 2 square की कितनी है यहाँ पे? 1010 multiplied by 2 raised to the power of 1 divided by 5. Can I write it like this? Okay, now can I say that 2 square is 4? So 4 is 5 minus 1 raised to the power of 1010 multiplied by 2 raised to the power 1 divided by 5. Now if you see -1 की power 1010 is how much? -1 की power 1010 is 1 only. -1's even power is 1, and 1 multiplied by 2 raised to power 1 is 2. 1 multiplied by 2 is 2. Now 2 divided by 5, what is the remainder? The remainder is 2 only. When the numerator is less than the denominator, then the numerator becomes the remainder. Okay, so when 2 is divided by 5, the remainder is 2, and hence the answer for this question is 2 only. Okay, so this way we can calculate the remainders of power numbers. Only focus on this thing, that you have to find a number closest to the multiple of 5, which is 5 only, and then you have to proceed accordingly. Having got 5, now for all your effort will be concentrated on this new question. In this step, you have to calculate the power of 2, which is very close to 5. So power of the divisor, this number which is very close to 5, that's what you have to concentrate on. And very close means या तो plus या -1 के आसपास. Okay, so this way we can calculate the remainders of these numbers. Pause this video once again to get the hang of the concept. Okay, let's move on to the next question. 1837 into 1839 into 1841 when divided by 21, what is the remainder? So 1837 multiplied by 1839 multiplied by 1841 when divided by 21, what is the remainder? How will you calculate this? You will say 21 1837. अगर 1837 को 21 से डिवाइड दे, थोड़ा फास्ट करें, you will see 21 1837. It is 8 za 168, 15 7, 7 za 147, 10. So 10 is the remainder. So here the remainder is 10. So here naturally the remainder will be 12. Here naturally the remainder will be 14. Right. Now you see over here, now 10 multiplied by 12 multiplied by 14 को अगर 21 से divide दे तो क्या remainder आएगा? If you see closely over here, 14 multiplied by 12, now this cancels with 7. Now this number is completely divisible by 21, which means the remainder is 0. 14 into 12 is 168, which is divisible by 21, so remainder is 0. Right? So you have to break this one question and then you have to proceed forward. Okay. The smallest prime number that divides the sum of 711 plus 1113 is how much? Now in these kind of question, your brain has to tick very fast, right? Smallest prime number that divides the sum of 7 to the power 11 plus 1113 is how much? Now you see 7 to the power 11 is an odd number because 7 itself is an odd number. 11 to the power 13 is also an odd number. So 7 raised to the power 11 plus 11 raised to the power 13, both these are odds. Odd plus odd is always an even number, and an even number is always divisible by 2, and 2 is the smallest prime number. Hence the answer for this question is 2. Right? So questions are googlies, questions are a little bit tough also. You have to accordingly maneuver your way when you are doing the questions of remainders. Right? Thank you so much, and then we will go for some more good questions of number system. This was only one part of number system, which is the remainders. Go through the session very carefully and come back with your feedbacks on this. Thank you so much. Happy learning here on VMC. Thank you so much.